friends, this is Peggy Noe from prettypapercards.com. I'm here today with a tutorial for an adorable peppermint Christmas card. I think it's so cute and I wanted to show you how to make it. So let's get started. This card uses a couple of stamp sets. The first one is Encircled in Warmth, and it has these beautiful sentiments, holiday sentiments that fit inside of circles. And actually we're going to be using the bundle. Here are the dies, the Encircled in Beauty dies that fit right around all these different sentiments. So we're going to use this sentiment and this die today. So I'm going to pull that one out. And we're also going to use the Frosted Gingerbread stamp set and the gingerbread dies. And this is also a bundle. We're only going to use this stamp set, or this particular stamp of the peppermint candies, and we're going to use this die, which cuts out 3 peppermint candies at one time, which is pretty fabulous. Okay, I'll put those two out, so let's get started. We're going to begin with a standard card base of basic white cardstock, and it's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4, and then I'm just going to burnish that score line. Next, we're going to put on a piece of real red cardstock. Now, I've gone ahead and cut this out already with one of the scallop contour dies. I love these dies, and I love the fact that we have these fabulous scalloped rectangles. And so I've used the largest one for this piece, and the next piece we're going to work with is a piece of basic white, and it's been cut with this particular die. So this one's already been cut for us, so we're going to go ahead and put some multi-purpose glue on the back and adhere it right on the front of our card to give us a real pretty, real red Christmassy start to our card. I'll just adhere that just like that. Okay, our next piece is the white piece that I was telling you, and we're just going to set it on here for the time being because I want to go ahead and stamp the sentiment and cut out the circle that goes around it. So the sentiment is Joyful Season, and the ink is real red ink. And here's our stamp. It's a cling stamp set, so it has red rubber. And I'm going to get quite a bit of ink on there because I like to have, if possible, kind of a real dark sentiment, one that's really pointing outward, really grabs you. So let's see. Press down pretty hard. Good. Okay, there's our Joyful Season sentiment. And now I'm going to pull in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to cut, I hope it's big enough, I think it is, to use the die that we pulled out from the Encircled in Beauty dies. Yes, that does work. I think I'm going to have to cut down my edges of my paper just a little bit. This is Blushing Bride cardstock, and it looks really pretty, I think, with the real red ink. So we're going to go ahead and put this, we have plates number 1 and a base, and a number 2 as a base plate, and then we put another number 2 on top. So let's just see if we can get our circle right inside the die like that. And then we'll run it through the embossing machine. I have to hold on kind of tight when we've got it on the pad. Okay, so let's see. Here's our sentiment all ready to go. Oh, I might have needed to go through a couple more times. No, maybe not. Sometimes you need to go through a few times, but it looks like that just really cut all those little curlicues. So let's get out our take your pick tool, and I usually just poke these out. The take your pick tool also has a brush tip, but I'm just going to use the little pokey tip today. And we're just going to poke all these little things out. They're coming out pretty quick. And I love this die. I just love the intricacy of it. That's one reason I got the Encircled in Beauty dies, because they're so pretty. So let's just see. I think we can pull some of these out from the back. I probably should have brought my brush tip along. Let's see. Let's just go on. Isn't it just so beautiful? And I love that the sentiments in the stamp set are made just specifically for these dies. That's why it's offered as a bundle, because they match so beautifully. And I thought that kind of a pink and red theme would be great with the peppermint candies. In fact, I meant to bring some peppermint candies. I have some in another room here, and I meant to bring some of those to just liven up our video here, our tutorial. So let's poke some of these. We're almost to the end here. I could have done this in advance, but I really like to do things on the video with you so that you can see exactly how you would do it yourself. And with these intricate dies, these little pieces do have to come out. So I think we've got them all. I'm just going to use a little envelope to push them out of the way there. Okay, so there we have our beautiful, joyful season sentiment all cut out. Now, in order to add some more fun, I'm going to add some of this real pretty, real red ruffled ribbon. And we're going to tie it before we adhere our piece onto our card and before we adhere our circle. So I'm going to start like this. I want to tie a pretty red bow in the middle, and I want it to come about at the one quarter from the bottom measurement. Let's see, get back under there. Okay, right in here. This is really sweet, festive ribbon, and I think it goes really well with the peppermints. So let's see. Okay, that's a good location. Let's see. So we're just going to tie a little bow in here. And it's this ribbon. Some ribbons are not easy to tie, but this particular ribbon is very easy to tie. And that's exactly where I want my bow. I really like that. Let's see. I think I'm going to pull this piece down because I want to make sure this little, oops, there we go. Okay, start again. I want the tails to be at the bottom, and so we want to make sure that we have the tails coming down at the bottom when we tie our bow. Let's see how this works. There we go. And that one's not quite at the bottom, but we'll make that work. Okay, now we're ready to adhere this to our card base that we've already put down. And for this, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals because I want this piece to pop up, and I also don't want the ribbon to really show that much. That one got attached to another package. Okay, here we go. And we're just going to put our dimensionals on the back like that. A couple on each end and one or two in the center. Just like this. Have you started making your Christmas cards yet? I wanted to get started a little bit early. Right now it's the end of October 2021, and it's good to start early with your cards because I don't like being caught late, if you know what I mean. This, you know, it's December and you don't have all your cards done. I don't like that. That makes me nervous. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to adhere that. Now we have our darling little circle, our joyful season circle, ready to put on, and also with Stampin' Dimensionals, we'll put this on. On circles, I usually use 3 dimensionals. It holds it really well, and I like that. So I'll all we need to do here is make sure that it's, that it's level. Okay, and now we're going to work a little bit more with our bow, because the last thing to do is to put on our peppermints. And here's our little bow. Now this is what I meant about the tails. This little guy. What we're going to do here is I'm going to get out some mini glue dots. And we're going to use a few mini glue dots to hold down the bow and get it in the place we want it to be. Then your card always looks nice and you don't have to worry about it. So here I'm just taking a little glue dot off the paper, and I'm going to put one right there, and I want that loop to adhere there. And now let's see what we're going to do with this. This guy really wants to come down in the front, I think. So we'll put another one right under there. This is how when you tie a nice bow, sometimes it likes to move about. And this is how you get it to stay in place, is by just putting little glue dots. So I want to put a little glue dot right up under there for that bow, loop of the bow. Let's see. What we want to do is adhere the bottom part of the loop, and then the top kind of follows. And then these can just, let's cut these, and then we'll know what to do with them. Okay, so we're just going to adhere those down. So we'll get another mini glue dot and put it right down here. That looks so much better, don't you think? That way your bow stays in place, and then we can put on all of our little peppermints around the bow. And so here's the final mini glue dot. Let's see, we might want to put that up just a hair. See how well that works? Okay. Now the biggest thing I wanted to show you about this card is this is a piece of the gingerbread and peppermint paper. Let me check if that's the right name. I'm going to look in my Holiday Mini Stampin' Up catalog, and I've been meaning to check that for you. Here is this whole suite, and here's the pretty ribbon that we used. And here is the designer series paper, and let's see, gingerbread and peppermint, I was right, 6x6 designer series paper. And this piece right here is the one we're after. And here it is. So what we're going to do, that die that I showed you in the beginning, now if I can find it, here we go. This die fits right on these peppermints. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So you don't even have to stamp them. You just need to, we'll need to cut this paper down so that it fits through the mini plates, just like that. And then we'll get our plates over here. And we're going to put this on here. Now let me find my other plate. Here we go. Okay. So we want to make sure this is up where you can see it. And all you need to do is hover over a little threesome of peppermints. And look at that, how they've made that to go right with this paper. I just love it. And then we're going to place it down and run it through the machine. There we go. And then it's cut out 3 adorable, look at those 3 cute little peppermints. Isn't that just cute? Now on my sample card, I used 1, 2, 3, 5 of the peppermints. So I think we need to cut out one more set of 3. So let's just put this in here. And really you can make the threesome is just all over this paper, so it's not hard to find where there is a grouping of 3 that matches the die. Just place that on it. And just run that little guy through. And there are the 3 more peppermints. Isn't that just so cute? I just love that this is one thing I really wanted to show you is how this works. Okay, so let's go back to our card. And now all we need to do is adhere our little peppermints with Stampin' Dimensionals. Let me get that up where you can see it. Okay, so first the large peppermints we can use a full-size Stampin' Dimensional and put it right in here. And I think I want to put that one right there. And then the medium ones you can also use a full-size dimensional. On the back is some gingerbread paper. You can see that. This is pretty paper no matter which side you use. So we'll put that little guy kind of right next to the big one. And then we'll put, let's see, I think on the other card I used, what have I got there? Okay, so we've got this circular one. I'm going to just tuck that up under here. And for this one, I'm just going to use a tiny bit of glue, multi-purpose glue. Just put a little bit of glue on there. And let's just try to tuck him right up under there, kind of like that. And it hangs off the paper just a little bit because we want it to look kind of arbitrary, just like they're sprinkled around. So now we have another big one, another large peppermint, and we're going to put this one right on our pretty edge there. And then we're going to use, we've got 2 minis, and for the little smallest peppermint, we need a little tiny mini dimensional. And I think we'll just put him right up there. Isn't that cute? There's your card. Now we want to also use the triple peppermint stamp to stamp inside our card and on our envelope. So let's do that. Here's our real red ink again. And we're going to ink up our peppermints. I just think peppermint is so festive. I love peppermint during the holidays. Isn't that just cute for the inside? And then let me grab an envelope here out of my little stash. And here's the envelope, and we'll put the little peppermints down here in the corner. Just like that. And there we have our adorable peppermint Christmas card, our peppermint holiday card. I love this card. I think it's fabulous. And if you like it, all the supplies are listed under the video for you, and you can just click on any of those items and go straight to my Stampin' Up store and order them. I hope to help you continually with ideas for making your Christmas cards. And I'd love it if you would stop by my blog at my email is peggy@prettypapercards.com. My blog is prettypapercards.com, and you can also find me under the same name on Facebook and Instagram. So I'd love to have you join me in any of those locations. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.